Welcome to the Note to Self podcast. I'm your host, Zoe Ariel, an adventurous entrepreneur who loves to make the most out of life. I'm a certified professional life coach, digital course creator, verified YouTuber, and published author. On this podcast, you can expect actionable tips, reflections, and inspiration to live your best, most fulfilling life. So, let's get started. Hello, angels, and welcome back to Note to Self. It's been a hot minute since I have been on here, noting to self, sharing pieces of my life with you, and I am back. I am back from a significant chapter in my life, and I'm presently coming to you from Tulum, Mexico. So I have moved. I have left Bali, and I'm definitely going to be sharing with you why I left Bali. But in this episode today, I'm going to be giving you a bit of a life update on some of the changes, the transitions, the things that have been going on in my reality and what I've been learning. So before I get into that though, I would love to invite you into a free masterclass that I'm holding, and it's going to be on February 19th. So that is a Saturday. It's going to be at 9 a.m. Eastern. The replay will be up, but only for a week or so. And this masterclass is actually going to be more of a workshop where we are going to be getting very intentional about creating your most abundant year yet. For me personally, this was inspired because the word that I chose for 2023 was wealth. And what I wanted to embody, like my goal specifically, or my New Year's intention, I would say, I don't really like to say goal, but my intention for this year ahead is to embody wealth in every area of my life. So what does that mean? It means wealth in health, being my most vibrant self, wealth in spirituality, just really deepening and expanding within my being, wealth in friendships, really creating powerful connections, deepening connections, and really taking relationships to my life in the next level. Also, wealth and love. As you guys know, I've been single for quite some time. We've talked about it. We've talked about calling in the king. That's happening, right? I'm going to have wealth in romantic partnerships. I'm also going to have wealth in finances, right? So these are all the things that I'm claiming in my most abundant year yet. So if you would like to gain some clarity on what you would like to manifest and intend for in this next year ahead, if you're ready to expand your realm of possibilities and really tune into what abundance or what wealth means to you in each area of your life, this is going to be super fun. I'm anticipating that the workshop itself will be about 90 minutes, and I would love to see you there. It's going to be slightly tailored to really giving yourself permission to expand into new levels of freedom, because that's what I've done this year. I have actually decided to venture out into the unknown and become a full-time digital nomad. And part of this masterclass, I'm going to be sharing about my launch of the Digital Nomad Academy again. So this is my 6-month program, which you'll hear more about soon. But yeah, just this is kind of the theme, is really giving myself permission to give myself that next level of the dream life. And what I've come to realize about my journey of being somebody who is always striving and creating that next level of dream life is that it changes. And I give myself permission and allow that to change, because there was one point in time where I thought that my dream life would be Rome forever. I thought that I would live in Italy forever. And then I thought maybe that I would settle down in Toronto, and that would be where home would be, although I still strongly desire to be a globetrotter in ways. And then there was a season of Bali in my life, the chapter of Bali, where I really thought that I would live in Bali perhaps forever as well. And now I found myself venturing out into the next chapter. But what I love about this is I think it speaks to self-awareness and expansion and growth and evolution. It's natural that when we have a lot of internal shifts that our external reality changes. And for me, that's often looked like my environment. And there was points in time along my journey where I used to judge myself for that, right? Because where I come from is a very small town, and nobody else in my family, let's say, is doing what I'm doing. As in, nobody else in my family is sort of working online and traveling the world, and that's their life. So in ways, there were times when my ego kind of made me wrong for choosing this path, or doubted it, or tried to talk myself out of it. But the more and more that I've honored my internal compass, my intuition, like my intuition literally told me a few months ago, go to Tulum now. And I answered that because I have the freedom to do so. I created that freedom in my life. So that's where I'm at now. I'm in Tulum, and I honestly don't have too much of a plan of where I'm going to go this year. I've got some anchors, as in I know that I'm going to be in Peru in April, and I know that I'm going to be in Costa Rica sometime again at the end of the year, and potentially another time before that as well. Yeah, I'm just letting myself be led this year. For the first time in my life, I'm really surrendering to the unknown in a new way. And this will allow me to expand into a next level of self. Also, I find when I'm traveling, I'm more receptive to the divine, which means that I receive more synchronicities. I'm more aware of them anyways than normal. I think we're always receiving synchronicities, but what I would say is that when I'm out there, let's say kind of alone, venturing into the world in new environments, I perceive signs a lot easier, and I take them in. I receive them fully, and I'm always in self-inquiry, and I'm just really taking part in the adventure that is life. So that's how I'm going to be spending this year. Like I said, allowing myself to be led, and this deep surrendering, I think I can trace it back to Iboga. So in December, and that's part of the reason why I took a break from podcasting, was because I went to Costa Rica to take part in 2 Iboga ceremonies at Iboga Wellness. I'll link Iboga Wellness down below if you guys feel the call to check it out. There's going to be a YouTube series coming out soon on this medicine. So if you aren't subscribed to my YouTube channel, Zoe Ariel, do so, and you'll get those updates when they come in. It's going to be really good, you guys. It's going to be really deep and vulnerable in ways. Yeah, we're going to go to those places. And I took some time off of podcasting because Iboga is a plant medicine that really works on your brain, and it rewired a lot for me. I feel like it literally gave me a new brain and a new body. And so I've been spending a lot of intentional time integrating that. And that means that I've taken time away from my computer in big ways. I've taken time away from launching things in my business. And I've just really taken a lot of downtime to not only just move across the world and give myself space and not make myself feel obligated to create a lot of content during this time, but it's just allowed me to have more peace and quiet and meditative time in this integration process. So that's where I've been. And besides like leaving Bali and having to say goodbye to just some unreal friendships that I made, unreal connections, just like so beautiful. I'm so grateful. And of course, our friends like are always just a phone call or a voice note away. And I know that I'm going to meet up with them in cool places around the globe. It still also took a toll on me just saying my goodbyes and really reflecting on the chapter that Bali was. I learned so much about myself in a short period of time. 2 years, I feel like I grew 10. And it was powerful for me. And after I got back from Bali, I actually spent 2 weeks on Vancouver Island visiting with my family, really filling up my cup in that regard. And I'm really grateful that I actually created this freedom for myself in my life, which again, we're going to be talking more into in the masterclass, because I essentially haven't really worked that much since I did Iboga. So for the last 2.5 months, I probably put in about 3 work days. I have my one-on-one coaching calls that happen with clients throughout the week at different points in time, but in regards to spending time on my computer, like organizing things or launching things, let's say, I only spent 3 days working in the last almost 3 months. So that freedom is available to you. Know that. I want to speak into that. If that's something you desire, is like you desire to live your life more than you desire to work, just know that that's always available to you. And that's what I'm going to be inspiring you into in this masterclass. But it was super great because being home with my family, who I hadn't seen in 2 years, I was able to spend so much quality time like with my grandmother and with my family, that if I was working the whole time, like if I was sort of there have been times where I was a digital nomad, but I was working more than I was enjoying my life, or, I didn't become a digital nomad to be workaholic, let's say. Came to work smarter, not harder. And so I really saw that I could give myself full permission to be present with my family for 2 weeks, to also move across the world and to like not work and still be okay. What a wonderful feeling. Of course, my ego had some judgments around it. My ego wanted me to work sometimes to feel more safety and stability, but ultimately I've been supported. And that's because I've created structures in my life that I do teach in the Digital Nomad Academy that have allowed me to access this level of freedom, which any of you entrepreneurs out there who are desiring that, I would love to support you in ways. If you feel the call to the Digital Nomad Academy, when I'm launching it, there's going to be an early bird price coming up in the next week or so. Or if you feel the call to work with me one-on-one, I'd be more than happy to work with you one-on-one as well. So anyways, that's my little life update for you guys, is that it's been a time and a season of transition and a time of integrating Iboga. And I can't wait to share more with you about that. And of course, to be back podcasting because I love it. I love tuning into this stream of consciousness and sharing my life with you all. And thank you for sticking around or tuning in. I will talk to you again very soon. Thanks for listening to Note to Self. If you enjoyed this episode, please help me out by rating and reviewing this show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If my energy is resonating with you and you feel the call to work with me, there are an abundance of ways to do so. I offer one-to-one life coaching programs, mastermind containers, and DIY courses, all of which are available through my website, zoeariel.co. Until next time, take note of all the abundance that surrounds you as you make the most of this game called life.